Okay, guys, we're joining with him. I promise you, I normally can connect better than that.
No worries.
I don't know what was happening.
No worries.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. Look at you blinging.
I know, look, I'm totally overdressed today because it's sleeper season and I'm going out for my boyfriend's birthday later. But that's why I'm like hella overdressed right now.
Wow. I was like, you know what? Since we talked about money, I was like, let me bring my little drip in too. You know?
Yeah, you should, man. How you doing though? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I woke up not to quote the song, but I woke up this morning feeling myself, new song out. I had a nice workout this morning and, just trying to ground myself. And I'm pretty sure you work with a lot of artists. Whenever you're facing a release, there's some anxiety, there's a lot that you have to do, but I'm feeling good, trying to vibrate as high as possible.
Okay, I feel that. You want to go ahead and just introduce yourself for the people coming in and joining, just for people who might not know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, everyone, thank you for tapping in this live. My name is Ross Victory. I'm an LA-based artist, songwriter, singer, author, and I'm out here trying to manifest. I'm sure you guys are too. Everybody's about that bag, talking about sis, get the bag, bro, get the bag. So this is a song. Yes, right? I mean, that's what people do. So this is the song. This is the song to try to, call in those blessings. I know we have a lot of darkness in the world right now, with police brutality and Black Lives Matter. So I just wanted to try to send, some good vibes out there, at least something to wake up to,
And I love it. The song is so catchy and it has a great beat flow and everything. And I just want to ask you, so first of all, how did you come up with your stage name? Like, what does it consist of?
Oh, so that's my real name.
Ross Victory?
Yes. Ross Victory's my real name.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. Victory's your real last name?
Victory's my real last name.
Yeah. Now that's not fair. You have no choice but to win.
Victory.
That's awesome.
And you know what's crazy? I have a cousin who named his son Imminent Victory, so he can't fail. It's just imminent, and the blessings will come. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's my real name.
That's dope.
Thank you.
So let me see. The single that you're pushing right now, Money Drip. How did that come about? The writing process behind that.
Yeah, so before this pandemic happened, it's crazy that we've been in this for 6 months, but back in January and February, I spent a lot of time, because I lost my job last year, actually, before this pandemic, and I lost my part-time job when the pandemic hit. So I spent a lot of time listening to beats, writing music. I was already being pushed back into that direction. So I did music 10 years ago and I stopped. So I found this beat and I was like really listening to a lot of people talk about manifestation and bags. And I was thinking, you know what, wouldn't it be cool to have a hip hop song that kind of had a subtle message? Like the beat, it bumps, if you put it on the system, it bumps. But it's like, what are you really saying in there? And so in the lyrics, I talk about, like it feels like I made it, the money drip. And then also like you got to do it yourself. A lot of people out here, we're waiting on other people to do stuff for us. We're waiting on friends to validate us. We're waiting on, this person to return this email. It's like, no, take the initiative. So that's my intent with the song. And I just tried to water it down a little bit so it could be something to bump to.
That is so true because, I know with Tyler Perry, at one point he was saying like, while everybody else is arguing about like having people like allowing them to sit at the table, he's building his own. And I love how you said you're pretty much just working for yourself and building your own kind of table. That kind of energy is awesome. Yeah. Pretty much what advice would you have for people like, I guess that get down or discouraged? When I guess the support isn't immediate.
Yeah, that's a really hard thing. My lesson to try to understand the answer to that question. So I had given up on music like 10 years ago, and I was in the studio recording an audiobook for a book that I had written after the loss of my dad. And the engineer, his name is Pancho. We're in LA, so there's a studio I go to called Good Vibe Studios in LA. He was like, "Hey, can you sing?" I was like, "Yeah, I used to sing songwriter. I gave that up." So he kind of planted in my mind, "Oh, what do I want to be about? What is my message?" And it was easy for me to tap into that energy because the loss of my dad. And so I just really had to ground myself in what is my message? What do I want to do? What do I want to say? And I have to understand that sometimes people don't support you because they don't have time. Maybe people don't support you. They don't see what you're doing. Maybe they're jealous. There's so many reasons, right, that we don't have access to. But people are autonomous beings. Whatever they want to think is their business. You have to be about what you want to do and do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I love that. And that's so true, what you mentioned, because Instagram, their algorithms are something serious. It's really hard to get seen out here anyways.
It's
Like that without, yeah, without like paid promotion and, little things like that.
Yeah.
Your background is so interesting. So you're a singer-songwriter and an author.
Yeah.
Like, can you talk about that? That
Yeah.
is just the most interesting thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm a songwriter first. I'm a singer second, and the authoring, I didn't even realize. So I mean, I've always liked to write, but when I didn't realize it until the loss of my dad. And sometimes people go to music for healing, right? So I wrote a song called "Savor the View," which is literally about me and my dad having our last moment together. So that one's on Spotify and SoundCloud as well. But I was like, you know what is the story? What do I have to say? Fathers and sons, they struggle with that relationship, and it can be sometimes really tense. What do I want to do with that? And so I sat down over a course of 2 years, and I mean, book writing is not a joke. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. And so
I believe you. I believe you.
Yeah, it's not a joke.
I certainly believe you, because I actually have a book that I want to write, but I cannot step.
But and see, with that is same with music, is ideas and vision. It all takes time to develop. A song and the intent that you sit down to write the song, maybe that's not going to be when it finishes. The intent for the book, what you want to say, what you go in wanting to say, is not what maybe it turns out to be. So I think it's just to give yourself space, and rest, and maybe accountability to finish projects too, because it's hard to finish, right? Because a lot of artists out here, oh, I have this many songs, but nothing's out, nothing's being promoted, nothing's being advertised. See, you already know. So it's how do you finish? And so I think that's part of my goal too, is like just finishing projects, putting myself out there, and then what is my unique brand with music and books? Like, what could I do with that? Is there something in the audiobook space? Like if I did like a book and then had like a 4-song EP. So that's kind of like where my mind is, how to do something fresh and new like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how would you, I guess, get over writer's block? Get through it, I guess, is better wording.
Yeah. So that's hard. What I've noticed is that the writing process, it takes time. If you don't have anything to say, like, this is just my formula. If I don't have anything to say, if the melody isn't working, I take a break. If I come back, it's still not working, I ask for help. And that's been a teachable moment. That's been a teachable moment for me, because I'm one of those people where, because I used to make beats too. So it's like, I want to do the beat. I want to do the beat by myself. I want to do the lyrics by myself. I want to engineer and record by myself. It's like, no, if somebody excels in a different area, it's okay to ask for help. Yeah, it's a team sport,
Yeah. I guess, if somebody wanted to get into songwriting, like, what advice would you give them?
So a long time ago, I interned at ASCAP, Performing Right organization, and they had a lot of like songwriting boot camp. So I was on the administrative side with facilitating that. But I would look into boot camps, like professional boot camps. I would even just listen to. So some of my favorite people are Babyface. I mean, The Dream. Neo.
That was a
Yeah,
yeah,
I grew up on
legend.
90s. I grew up on 90s R&B, where that the singer songwriter was a popular kind of thing that people were doing. So I would even just say listen and study some of the people who've done it before. And just immerse yourself in their music. Learn about melody. There's different types of things, and then just have fun too. I mean, let your music come from an authentic place, I think.
Okay, okay. Have you taught yourself any new hobbies
Oh,
while in quarantine?
oh my gosh, yeah. So I yeah, this has been, I don't know how it's been for you, but like I've had a lot of time. So I just did my own like photo shoot, but just by myself with like
Okay,
yeah,
that's
with a
great.
tripod. Yeah, I went out, I found a background with my tripod, my iPhone. I was like, let's set up I guess I'm doing a shoot. I learned, I've been practicing with video editing. So there's a software called Wondershare. So I've been looking at YouTube, like trying to learn how to edit videos. So it's like literally in my apartment, I'm cranking out music, I'm cranking out books, I'm cranking out photo shoots. It's
You
like,
got
it's full
everything.
service. It's full service.
That's good though. That you're being self-efficient. So, you don't, I mean, I'm not going to say that you don't have to hire other people, but just in case, you need backup or you got to do something yourself, you already know how to do it.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah.
Do you want to give like a little snippet of Money Drip? We usually ask artists to sing
Oh, you do?
on
Oh,
here.
okay. Okay. Yeah, I could give
But
a
if you
little.
don't want to, it's okay. We do
You,
usually ask.
you know what? And I know that this song is kind of like it is a fun song. I wrote a poem, a small poem for Breonna Taylor's "That Verdict." Is it okay if I read that?
Yes, 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 of
Okay.
course.
Okay. It's really short, and yes, Money Drip is that banger to help you call in your blessings. This is a poem that I wrote. Is really short, and it says, "In your darkest hour, when your mind is overtaken by apocalypse, when humans become extinct and have left nothing behind but books, music, buildings, and photos, remember the sun will rise. You are the living legacy. You are the now." Rest in peace to Breonna Taylor, sending healing and family to her close friends and family.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I love that.
Thank you.
And it was even though you kept saying like it was little, it was so deep, like with the wording and everything.
Yeah.
Very meaningful.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like right now too. I'm not sure. Maybe some of the people on the live, our mental health in this state of quarantine can feel like apocalypse. It's like you're digging up stuff, right? You're digging up stuff from the past, like maybe even trying to figure out relationships. And so, yeah, just remember the sun will always rise, and it does feel like the world has ended, but the sun will always rise.
I love that. That is awesome. I'm gonna try to start writing because you're inspiring
Yeah, and too,
me.
like I would just say, be really easy with yourself. I mean, book writing. Do you mind if I ask if it's fiction or nonfiction?
Well, it was gonna be a children's book, and it was gonna be nonfiction.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, I would just say, I would set a deadline if you can, and just go easy with yourself. Like it is really hard, and it's hard because it's a solo sport. So if you're willing to sit at the computer, just like music and songwriting, I don't really collaborate that much with people, but it's a solo sport, sitting at your computer 5, 6 hours, uninspired, no one tapping you on the back like good job. It's all you. You can do it.
That's true. What would you recommend as far as I guess handling background work, like background paperwork, publishing for not just songwriting, but also being an author and promoting your books?
Yeah. Oh, you said what would I? One more time. What would I recommend?
Yeah, what would you recommend for someone to do? Like just
Um.
making sure the business is handled.
Yeah. To make sure the business is handled. So I would say. So right now, I'm really committed to the whole production process: pre-production, production, post-production, marketing, and advertising. So I would say write all those items out pre-production. Okay, you need the beat, you need the lyrics, who's going to produce the beat, where you going to record it. I mean, and this may be kind of, because creative people, sometimes we're not always like, oh, make a list.
Yeah.
But right, but I think it should be like that: pre-production, production. Okay, how much you about to spend? How many hours you need to record? Post-production. Okay, what does your marketing and advertising look like? And so I would say to apply that to the songwriting process, apply that to your book writing process, and also establish accountability. Like me and some of my friends, we have an accountability loop. And so we tell each other what are some of our goals. And yeah, when we get on the phone, it's like you have 3, 4 people who know what you're doing, and you're going to be held accountable. So I would say accountability too.
That's some real friends, because sometimes you can't be that blatantly honest with some people, or holding them to accountability. Some people might just block you or cut you
Right.
off. But I love that you guys, hold each other accountable just to win, and succeed.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And and in my song, just to plug it again, I say in there, we're not about that fake shit. And that's the thing, like with your friend circle. I read a quote the other day. It said, the people around you are either your circle or your cage. I mean, that's deep. So it's like your circle, people have to be aligned, kind of like on the same vision, I think. Like, hey, we're trying to go somewhere. We don't know how, but we all moving.
Yes, of course. So before we wrap it up, is there anything that you want to plug or let the people know where to follow you and all that good stuff?
Yeah, for sure. I'm on Instagram, of course, Ross Victory Official. I mean, I'm on every SoundCloud, Spotify. If you're interested in writing, so I do like to write about self-help and psychology and religion. I'm on Medium. I have some articles on Medium. I have articles on the Good Men Project, and also my audiobook. So in my audiobooks, I also have music in there, which I think is something, fun to do. On Amazon, you can get access to my books and music as well. So yeah, come out there, find me. I think I'm a pretty, accessible person. I like to connect with people online, and let's build something together, And thank you to RnbCrazy for your professionalism and organizing this. It's like, how do I build? How do I take risks? And so that's kind of what my personal brand is about too.
Yeah, I love what you're doing. Also, what I was gonna say is, are you ever gonna put together maybe a course or something to teach to other people, maybe how to write or something like that?
Yeah, what's crazy is a lot of I've thought about artist management, artist development, like that kind of stuff, boot camps, and I want to get a few more wins under my belt in order for me to be able to take an artist and mold that confidence and that vision in them. But I think that would be cool, like a digital course, or even like people who need management or accountability, to get into that. Because, I can inspire people and be that fatherly accountability. And I know a lot of people need help with that. So maybe in the future at some point, a few more wins and anything's possible.
I think you're gonna get there with that last name. You got no choice.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We really appreciate you for taking the time out to sit here and speak with us and give us some awesome advice. Honestly, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So,
and everybody on the live, thank you so much for tuning in. Money Drip, check it out. Wake up to it.
Yes.
Manifest those billions. Bro, you say you about that bag. Sis, you say you about that bag. You are the bag. My name is Ross Victory, and this is my new song, Money Drip.
Wake up in the morning, feeling myself. Feel like I made it. Ay, not about that fake shit. Ay, money drip all day. Say that you can do it, so do it yourself. Feel like I made it. Ay, not about that fake shit. Ay, money drip all day, bitch.
Drip, drip, drip.